All right, y'all. So, with the countdown for the 10th anniversary rapidly counting down, we're only 8 days away from the actual 10th anniversary to begin. And even funnier, the banners themselves might drop before the countdown finishes, which is, again, really hilarious if that is the case. We'll just have to wait and see if that actually does happen. We do have this stream on the 28th, and a lot of times the banners drop not too far after the official reveal stream, where we will get these characters' full details. That's, of course, the new Fusing LR Super Vegito, the new Blue Evolution Vegeta, and the Transforming Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the possibilities of a leader skill percentage increase or some sort of leader skill shift meta. And on top of that, we'll be trying to pinpoint what actual categories these characters will lead. And I guess at the same time, we'll know what categories they're going to be on as well. So I guess just all in all, there's a lot to really talk about here. But if you guys have any of your own predictions about these guys' like leader skills or categories that you think especially many people may not be already thinking about, feel free to let me know, because I think there is a lot of different avenues that they could take regarding this. Now, I want to tackle the first kind of topic right away, and I think the main thing that people will be coming to this video for is the percentage increase. If I was going to guess, I'm going to say that I don't think there will be an actual percentage increase with these new LRs coming out for the 10th anniversary. And I think a lot of people are potentially expecting that because it is year 10. And for the year 7 milestone, we did have basically an entire reset during the game where we had the jump from 170% to 200% leader skills, and a lot of things got flipped around. I don't think that's the case here, and that's for two reasons. One, I think that really doesn't feel like enough time has passed for the 200% leader skill meta. I think that there's still a couple of categories that could use some new 200% leads. And furthermore, beyond that, I would also say that it would be a little weird. I think that with the 7th anniversary game reset, a lot of the characters pre 7th anniversary didn't translate over to the post 7th anniversary meta. And on top of that, I feel like there wasn't necessarily a need to, because Dokkan started focusing on a lot of different teams and setups compared to the characters that released the year before. And if we look directly into, I would say, what's going on now, I think these characters fit really well with a lot of the characters that have been releasing in the past year. More specifically, the Vegito and the Vegeta. There has not been a lot of GT stuff in the past year, so I wouldn't really say the fact for the Super Saiyan 4 Goku that's coming out. But even then, I just think it would feel very disconnected if they power creep the entire game due to a leader skill jump, and then it's like all the Majin Buu Saga characters that came out to kind of work with this guy feel way worse, or all the Tournament of Power stuff we got with this guy, the Blue Evolution Vegeta, right? Especially the UI Gokus. What if they feel just completely power crept? I just feel like that's not a good idea. So that's why I don't actually expect a power creep jump in terms of the leader skill percentages. What I will say, though, is there could be some sort of update to how the leader skills work. It doesn't necessarily have to be the jump of 200 to 230 or 250%. They could actually add other things to leader skills, and we've seen this before with the AGL Tapion, right? His leader skill has an actual extra giant form ability, and a lot of these older Dokkan characters may have some sort of damage reduction in their leader skill, right? The Boda Magetta card is actually the one that comes to mind. A lot of people use that card back in the day to do some challenge runs where they give the entire team, I believe 34% damage reduction. There could be cards, leader skills like that. What if Super Vegito is I don't know, a 200% leader for whatever categories they are, but then he gives 15% chance to crit to Fuse Fighter characters, or if he gets 15% damage reduction to, I don't know, Majin Buu Saga characters for the first 5 turns in his leader score or something. they could do some interesting things about that. Maybe Blue Evolution Vegeta, what if he gives 5% extra dodge on his leader skill to Tournament of Power characters, and or even like Goku allies, and then it's like, oh, now the UI Gokus are in a much better spot under specifically this Vegeta's leader skill. And it would be a power creep jump in terms of the leader skills kind of focusing on these new abilities, but it's not in the case where I think it makes the old leader skills invalidated. I mean, imagine with this guy, right? He's a transforming Super Saiyan 4 Goku. What if his leader skill gives GT heroes like, I don't know, 10% extra damage reduction or something crazy? Probably wouldn't be that high of an amount, maybe like 7% at best. And then in LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku on this guy's team getting an extra 14% reduction from both leaders. Now he's like, oh, you know, a lot tankier, and like they could find some way to like artificially buff him or something. I don't know, like they could do stuff like that, and I think it could be really interesting, the different combinations they could do. But that's just my little like hat being thrown into the wind about that. I would not say that's something we should realistically expect, but if they would like to kind of push these leader skills beyond what we've already seen, I think that would be the best way to do it instead of just doing a percentage jump. But now, of course, we're going to go ahead and look at the characters themselves as they appear in game with previous iterations and kind of guess what their actual categories will be. Then we'll just take a look at some of the comments here on this tweet and see what other people are thinking. But I think we'll start off with Vegito, right? I think the Vegito card is, you know, gonna be the most complex one as the Dokkan Festival character. He could very well have up to 3 different leader skills in his actual kit. So we'll take a look directly. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is this is a Goku and Vegeta Angel card, and we know that the actual card itself is Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel, or I should say plus Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel, because it's actually a tag character. It's not an and character anymore. It's not like a join forces character per se, but it's more so of a switch mechanic kind of character, like how Legends has it, right? Where I think they call it the reversible exchange, where you're able to exchange back and forth, seems to be the case, which is a mechanic that people have been waiting for a very long time. And with that, I could obviously say we're gonna get most of these categories. Maybe it won't be joined forces potentially. I would assume they'll still be on joined forces. That'd make the most sense to me because it's still 2 characters in 1 card. But if it works like the way I think it'll actually work, it's possible that the cards will be on the categories of not only like the categories that they share, but the separate teams as well. So like we see this Super Saiyan Goku from basically a moment after, like, I don't know, after the Vegito fusion, basically Goku's family, bond of friendship, you know, Turtle School. Then we see Vegeta. This guy would be on Otherworld Warriors, Worthy Rivals, Time Limit. Like, imagine it's a thing of all those categories, even if they're just exclusive to the Vegeta or Goku or on that card. I think that's going to be the case, and that might not be something that people are necessarily considering when it comes to what this guy's leader skill will be. And I think that just makes the potential options a lot larger. Now, in terms of the actual leader skill itself, I'm gonna go ahead and go on the wild guess that we will see a final trump card leader. I think this character will lead the final trump card category. We saw the LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks that came out in December does want a final trump card ally. I feel like that was made directly in mind with this Vegito that's coming out. Like, pretty clearly, right, that Gotenks wanting a final trump card ally on the team. This guy would perfectly fit that kind of restriction that this character is looking for. So a new final trump card leader would be really good. I mean, the best one right now is definitely this Dragon Fist Goku, but he is over a year old at this point, and I think running 2 of them on the same team, probably not the best anymore, right? So getting like the 10th anniversary letter lead this team would be good. There's a lot of other good fusion characters on here, so I think it would just mesh very well together. Tech Super Gogeta, we have the, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks himself, and this Gogeta right here is also really good. Even the year 8 character right here, like these guys are still like actually not bad. I think this is probably one of the more under talked about characters in terms of how useful they actually could still be in the game, which is really funny. Then if we take a look at some of these other categories, I mean, like Patara, sure, but I'm not really confident that I can see them leading joint forces, because again, if we take a look at joint forces, the last leader for this team was pretty much the Super 17 fusing character. I think we could use a new leader for this, right? And this would actually potentially have, I think one of the part 2 LRs will also have the like tag mechanics, so that could get this character on the team where they could all really be ran together. I think that would be really cool. And then for a final leader skill, I would say I'm not really sure. From there, they could really do a lot of different options. Now, maybe they want this guy to be a category character that will lead all the other characters that will be appearing during the anniversary. And if they really want to get a wide range of characters, bond, parent, and child could work. But I feel like, you know, in terms of like Super Vegito's moment, bond, parent, and child doesn't feel like a leader skill that they would go out of their way to give him. Maybe they could have Pure Saiyans on there. I think could be an interesting team as well. I feel like, you know, if we look at Goku's team specifically, again, like I'm not just looking at Super Vegeta and thinking bond of friendship, you know, leader skill, or I guess time limit would work, right? That would be interesting, because Vegeta himself is not on time limit, but he is limited in time, if that makes sense. And the only leader for this team is Tech Super Gogeta, so I think that would be fine too, right? You know, as another option. Maybe instead of final trump card, they make this guy a time limit leader as well. That definitely very much works. If I was gonna guess though, I am going to assume it's gonna be final trump card, and I also think that we will see the other category literally just escape my head. We could see Fuse Fighters, actually. I think, you know, a new Fuse Fighter leader also does work very well. There's just a lot of different options here, I think, for this guy to actually be a leader for. And those are my really biggest guesses here. It is nice so that this character might still be on a lot of these extra category teams though, and hopefully they will take advantage of that in terms of future teams that'll get buffed later on during the year. But we'll have to wait and see what exactly this guy's leader skill will be in full. And of course, we'll read some other comments. I could be missing something 100%, but I think Vegito 100% final trump card is something I am definitely locking in. Oh yeah, the other category that escaped my mind, join forces. No, again, as a tag character, obvious, I think that'd be a really good choice for them. Unless the part 2 LR leads that, which could be true, right? You know, I'll have a video coming out with my predictions. You know, the roadmap thing that they showed in the actual pre-stream. I'm gonna edit that after this video, or not edit, I'm gonna record that after this video, and that video probably won't be up today, but the next day, so keep a look out there. And next we'll move on to the Super Saiyan 4 Goku card, which is actually a golden grade 8 Kid Goku that will transform into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I have both of these cards pulled up, but realistically they're actually on all the same teams. There's not a difference in the categories that, like, oh, this guy doesn't actually gain any category besides Miraculous Awakening is the only team that he gets when he of course transforms into Super Saiyan 4 for the first time. But another thing on top of this is that this character does not have the Battle of Fate team either. So actually, I wasn't even aware of that. I thought that this guy did have the Battle of Fate, but when you look at it, he actually does not. So even though it's technically the same fight, whatever, this character is also on 3 additional teams though: Super Saiyan 3, Giant Ape Form, and Revenge. So there are a lot of options that this Super Saiyan 4 Goku is going to be available on. Now, in terms of his own leader skill, I think that there are 2 options that really stick out to me. That is these 2 teams, Bond of Parent and Child, and then Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Now, Bond of Parent and Child would be a little weird because I think his connection is more so with Pan specifically. I mean, you can make the argument that maybe he should be a Goku's family category leader, which the last time we got a Goku's family category leader was the Tech Bardock. So I think this would actually be a really good choice because of his connection with Pan over Bond of Parent and Child. I've seen some people bring up like Super Saiyan 4 Goku being a Bond of Parent and Child leader, And I don't think that it's, again, a bad idea. But I feel like in terms of his bond with Pan specifically, Goku's family is going to be a better representation of that. Because, you know, in the teaser, we see Pan was like kind of talking to Goku, trying to get his senses back to normal. Now, I also think Power Beyond Super Saiyan would be a good choice. We did get a Power Beyond Super Saiyan leader recently with the Super Saiyan Blue Goku from Heroes, the Final Heroes collab. But I don't think that matters because we've gotten like 3 movie bosses leaders last year. So I would assume that if they wanted to make this guy a Power Beyond Super Saiyan leader, they would, right? And it makes sense to me, him being a Power Beyond Super Saiyan leader, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like probably one of the best representations of, like, you know, ultimate Saiyan Super Saiyan form, right? So that makes sense to me. Now, I mean, you could say GT Heroes as well. I think GT Heroes is not a good team right now, though. So what would probably be ideal is like GT Heroes key 4 and 200%, and then like Goku's family key 3 and 200%. They could kind of do a similar thing to what they did with LR Jiren, where it's like a smaller category with some overlap gets the extra key, but then there's a larger main category. That would probably be best case scenario with how they handle this guy. I don't see him being like a Super Saiyan 3 leader. I mean, Giant Ape Power could work as well if he's like key 4 to Giant Ape Power, and then like the rest is just Goku's family, or, you know, Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Either one of those combinations do work. If I was gonna make an actual guess though, and like in terms of like, let's say I make a concept for these cards, I probably would give this guy GT Heroes and Goku's family. That is the pinnacle of like this moment for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, at least to me specifically, when he's transforming into Super Saiyan 4 for the very first time. Again, category leaders are very easy to kind of talk about because it's just straight to the point, right? No like 30% or anything like that. So then finally we can move on to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. I mean, Power Beyond Super Saiyan is a category that I brought up in regards to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but this Vegeta could also very well be a leader for this team as a 200% category lead. That'd be pretty cool. I think, you know, Blue Evolution Vegeta is 100% a representation of ascending beyond just the normal Super Saiyan limits that this guy would have before. Now, some other teams I think could work out pretty well is actually Monomaster and Disciple. Now, Beast Gohan does lead this team, but it's pretty good at this point. I think getting a new like carnival leader for this besides the Carnival Kid Gohan would work. And obviously a lot of this Vegeta's kind of thing is his bond with Kaba. However, you know, there's no like Kaba character that's relevant right now, or I don't really expect another Kaba character to be coming out soon, so kind of whatever on that. What I could see is something like maybe even like he leads Raptor Universe 7 in his leader skill, right? Because we actually don't have a 200% lead for this Raptor Universe 7 category. So maybe he's just like flat 200% to this team, which would make quite a bit of sense. And then that's like key 4 and 200% to this. Then he gives key 3 and 200% to Power Beyond Super Saiyan, or it could be key 3 and 200% to even something like Superheroes, I guess would be a fine option as well. Vegeta's family would be cool. I mean, imagine if they did pure Saiyans. I'm not gonna expect like a Universe Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, tournament participants. Well, tournament participants also works. I mean, they could do that, but it just feels like very in tune with like Tech UI's leader skill and Angel Jiren's leader skill. Like Tech UI Goku, he leads USS, Realm of Gods, and Interested Will. And then obviously the 200% goes to Universe 7 reps and things like that. I would probably prefer a leader skill like Power Beyond Super Saiyan just for more diversity. That'd be cool too, but I think I could definitely see like key 4 200% reps Universe 7. Then tournament participants gets an actual new leader here, which, you know, part 2 a lot is gonna have probably a lot of Android Cell Saga stuff, because there's 3 Android Cell Saga slots that are available. So those characters would actually also fit this guy's leader skill and kind of get a lot of these characters on a similar team together. That'd be a good idea, honestly. So yeah, or it could be Power Beyond Super Saiyan as well. I'm kind of limiting it to those categories, like within that same pool range. And I know, like, it's like we can't guess the exact leader skill that this guy will have, but we can get, again, very close to it. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this is 100% going to be his team, because like you can't like predict that. There's so many of these categories that all these characters are on, right? So let's take a look at some of the replies. We have 33 replies actually, and then we have some quote tweets, I believe. But sex 250% and Forky. You know what? I mean, maybe. Who knows? We'll have to see. Don't know for Vegeta yet, but for Carnivals, Powerful Comeback, and USS, then Goku Family GT Heroes. Yeah, that works. I think very similar to what I was saying. I would say Powerful Comeback. I mean, what's the last like character that led Powerful Comeback actually? It was the 23rd World Tournament Goku. But I don't know, like, will this guy have a revival skill? I mean, he doesn't need the revival skill because, like, this Blue Evolution Vegeta is obviously on the team regardless. But it probably would be ideal if a revival skill character leads that team, is my thought process on that. And we did, again, get Universe Survival Saga leaders, 2 of them last Hanabata. I would prefer tournament participants personally. Z Heroes should be one of Vegito's. That's true. I did not even consider a new category at all. And the reason for that is because last year they announced the Super Bosses category when we got the LR reveals, like in terms of their card arts. So that's why actually I'm not going to think that there's going to be a new team. But Vegito could just like, what if he's Z Heroes, Join Forces, and Final Trump Card as a category? Like lead, that would be really good. Goku Miraculous Awakening, Bond and Parent Challenge, GT Heroes, 3 teams. No, you guys got to keep in mind these 2 are Carnivals. The Blue Evolution Vegeta and then the Goku are Carnivals, so most will have 2 leads, right? But for Vegito, Fuse Fighters, Join Forces, Final Trump Card, then 30% to Bond and Parent Child, Accelerated Battle, and Battle Wits. But that would get a lot of good characters there for sure. Vegito leading Majin Buu Saga. I think we have enough Majin Buu Saga leaders and Super Saiyan. We also have tons of Super Saiyan leaders. Yeah, very similar right here. GT Heroes, Power Beyond Super Saiyan for Goku, and then Vegeta leading Pure Saiyan's a Powerful Comeback. Let's take a look at some of the responses and see if there's anything specifically unique here. Vegeta's family. That's something I didn't really talk about. Like Vegeta leading Vegeta's family, but clearly makes sense considering, you know, like he flashes back to Bulma and Trunks and Bra. He also does flashback to Cabba too, so Cabba would obviously fit like tournament participants. I mean, we did get a leader this year, but we can get another one very easily. The only issue with this team is that it sucks. That's the only thing about this team. It's very bad. But if it's just like a key 4 200% tied with tournament participants, that works too. Okay, you want a new type of leader skill. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Basically, Super Vegito, Goku, Vegeta's family, and Final Trump Card. Okay. Then, if they're in Fuse Fighter, Majin Buu Saga, they get the extra stats to 200% and 5% crit and damage reduction. I mean, like, that's what I was saying. They could 100% do something like that, and I think we'll probably end it off there because, again, these 2 are similar. We can see this here. On the version of a leader skill power creep, personally, it's going to be 180 plus 45 or 225. Again, I don't think they're going to push the percentages, and I'll end off there with this idea that Awab gave right here. But let me know what you guys are thinking again. You know, I think very, very interesting like responses and results here. Hopefully these guys end up leading some really strong teams. I would be surprised if they don't as anniversary LRs, but it'd be funny if they don't. So whatever. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.